Hello everyone, welcome back to the layout, the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston subdivision, taking shape right here in my basement. My name is Gerald Cruz, owner and builder of the layout, and your host for episode 30 of season 2023. This is an episode that features a number of different things that I got done this week. Didn't get everything done that I wanted to, but did get some trees put in, some scale trees, and also some ballasting. Did a little touch-up on some track and so on. So we're going to get right into it here. And first of all, take a look at some trees. These are scale trees. Super trees they're called, by Scenic Express. Definitely give you a little bit more of a scale looking tree. I got this, I was going to get the starter kit, but I just got a package of HO scale size trees. This is basically sagebrush that I got from Scenic Express, and I have some diluted white glue, 1 to 7, 1 part glue, 7 parts water. And then I have the flock here. I've got dark green and medium green and some clothespins, and of course, or I should say also my soldering iron, which you may be wondering how that is used. I also strung up a little line here. You can probably tell that that's a weed whacker string. Basically just found whatever I could in my garage and tied it up there because I was going to have to suspend the trees. Now, one thing about these sagebrush trees is that the stems are pretty curved, which you don't really want with trees. You want to kind of get them straightened out as much as possible. This one's a little curved. Also, some are more curved than others. Some actually do come out straight. But there's a new process of how to straighten these out. Basically using a soldering iron, you straighten them out. I have this attached to a vice grip, and then you just use your soldering iron to just burn it in certain spots. The more the curve, the more you want to take out, the more you burn it. And it definitely is a quick way, pretty efficient way of straightening out the trees, straightening out the trunks, so it looks much more realistic. Now these definitely have more detail as far as all the different branches that a tree has. And once I had them straightened out, I basically put as many as I could. I think I put like 12 in the white glue, and basically have to have them in there for at least 30 minutes. And I didn't get video of it, but you sprinkle it. Once you take it out of the diluted white glue, you sprinkle it with the flocking, and that puts the leaves on. I like the way these turned out, but it's a little sparse. You can kind of see through the trees a little bit more than I think you can on the real layout, and as far as realistic. Now here's an area that I was going to put these in. This is a low-lying area. As you can see, I just have some N-scale trees there for now. But the water kind of flows down from the mountains up there and flows down, and it's going to come through a culvert here. So this is basically an area that is going to have some water, so a good place to put some trees. Now, you have to let me know what you think about the size of these. I think these, I don't know, seem to be a little big for HO scale and for, basically trees out in the arid west. You have to kind of let me know what you think. Here's another couple places where I put the trees. It looks kind of good there, where you have the scaled, detailed trees up close, and then in the background you have the smaller N-scale trees. So in the comments, let me know what you think as far as size-wise goes, and then also how well that's filled in. I think it's a little sparse. I might want to try and do a little bit more. Anyway, I also then this week did some work with trying to get the labeling a little bit more professional looking. Added some color. try to get it to be a little bit more like what you have on a more professional thing. This is the colors I try to make them UP colors. It is the UP font. It's called City of, and I was able to use the UP font. And here's what it's been looking like for quite a few months, probably a year. This is what it looks like now. So it's definitely an improvement. I'm going to leave these up for now. Eventually, once I get an area that it's completely done, I'm not going to have to worry about it getting wet and so forth. Like this here needs another coat of paint. But eventually I will get these printed on photo paper of some sort that's a little bit more glossy, and maybe laminate them, and eventually have them put up a little bit more permanently. Right now I'm just kind of putting them up to see if I like the color combination. And again, in the comments, let me know what you think of the color combinations and how this is all laid out. You can kind of see how they're all distributed on all the different areas. One more thing that I did, there is some shininess to the ties. So when you look straight down, you can't really tell, but when you look in a distance at a certain angle, you can see there's a shininess to the ties, and so you can't really see the ties. Here you can really just simply see the reflection off the overhead lights. So I didn't like that, so I got some clear flat paint, I guess you could say. This is Tamiya TS80 flat clear. Basically is a dull coat. Testers makes a dull coat. But here you can see after it's sprayed, you can actually see the brown ties all the way into the distance. Okay, so the shininess is just on the rails, not on the ties themselves. So here you can see a side by side. It's not a big difference, but when you're in person, it definitely helps and is a big improvement. And here's another area that I did. I didn't do all the tracks because depending on where they are, you won't get the reflection. It's just the ones that are kind of on the edge. One thing I did not get completed, which I wanted to, was getting these two turnouts in. I basically couldn't get my hands on some cork road bed that I'm going to be using for here. So I am going to be getting that this week, and we'll definitely get those installed this coming week. I am eagerly anticipating, this is going to be just an open area here. Some of the things I'm going to be doing this week, one is I will be getting the road bed and getting that in there. We'll see some trains running through again. Here's the scale trees. Definitely looks good with the scale trees in the front and the a little bit smaller. Maybe helps with the depth of field, smaller trees in the distance. Still not sure about the size of those. I think they're fine in a neighborhood and so forth, but out in the area to west, they may be a little big. But anyway, this week I'm going to try and get those two turnouts in, and maybe a third turnout. I want to put a third turnout at Wholesome so that we have a couple of sidings there for Wholesome Cement. And I am going to be receiving 6 more locomotives, which I need. 5 of them will be AC 4400s by scale train. So I'm really looking very much forward to those coming in and getting those on the layout. I'm going to be doing some addition of yellow striping on those, as well as adding PTC antennas to kind of update them. So definitely looking forward to that. And then this weekend I have the Rock Rail operating group coming by. I have an operating session. These are people from out of town. There's going to be an op session on Friday from, I think, 2:30 to 6 o'clock, something like that. And then another one on Saturday. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly I can turn around the layout to have a second operating session the day after. Shouldn't be too difficult. probably have all the paperwork done for both operating sessions before the first one on Friday, and so all I have to do is maybe some rearranging of trains. So things are definitely coming along on the layout. Things are looking pretty good in through here. Now, one thing I also did was completed the ballast work at UTLX, which you can see here. So this is all completely ballasted. And there will be more gravel and so forth added in here to make it look a little bit more industrial. Gonna have I need to paint the building also, but there's gonna be parking lots here, some gravel for the people to park and so on, and there's gonna be a road. Ooh, that brush out of the way. There's going to be a road here that's going to go across right about here, and they'll go down alongside the track into Evanston. So still a lot of work yet to do here. You can see some of the additional ballasting that I did here at UTLX. So some more, definitely some more detail to add. But I'm not going to worry about getting that completely done. I basically want to get everything done as far as the scenery and the ballast going for each section. So I'm probably not going to do too much more. I may paint the building and add a few things to the building yet. But the next thing I'm going to do is work on this unfinished area here. So I'm going to basically do this whole room here in Evanston, both the upper level. You can see my new triple signal there that I added. But I'm going to be working on this entire section here of Evanston and the level above it. So it's going to be from Peru to West Vaco control point, and then the Evanston yard here. So work on the backdrops. Going to get everything painted and vegetation put down, basic vegetation, ballasting on the track. Definitely some more backdrop photos that are going to go in here. I'm going to try to get some of these photos redone for this weekend. So this roundhouse here, I've been working with GIMP to get that to be a little bit better perspective, so it doesn't look like you're looking up at it. Instead, want it to look like you're looking down. And then I'm going to try and get the sky taken out and put a consistent sky all the way across those. So, and then more backdrops all the way through here. Do a little bit more work on this here. And I'll do the upper level first. Here's the rack for my EOT devices. But anyway, I'm going to do the upper level first so that I don't have to worry about the area below it too much, and then I'll do the bottom level after that. So I want to get this whole room here done in the coming weeks, and then once I have that all done, then I'll move to probably Morgan, and then work my way around from Morgan to the Taggart Mountains, Devil's Slide, Wholesome Cement, Echo Canyon, and Emory. And again, I'll do the upper level above those areas and then the lower level. And again, as I go all the way around, the goal will be basic scenery, ballast. And then once I get that done all the way around the complete layout, then I'll go back again and start doing tons and tons of detailing, weathering, and really get it looking sharp and looking as prototypical as possible. And then, of course, through all that, I'm also going to have to be doing tons of weathering on equipment. So it's definitely a lot to look forward to as we continue to proceed on the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston subdivision. Coming up on the 2-year mark for when I started working on this layout. It started in August, and end of August, 1st of September of 21. So I'm hoping to have all the basic scenery and ballasting done. I don't think it's going to take me a whole year. Thinking maybe by Christmas, possibly, or maybe in the winter time sometime, maybe February, March. I have to have Mark Bridgewater come down again as I work on more scenery. Definitely would like to have his help as I do the Taggart Mountains and Devil Slide and Echo Canyon. He may have to come twice. Here you get another look at the trees and how things look. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Make sure you check the channel in the midweek. I did a midweek update, I think on Thursday. Did not get a whole lot of views. You may want to go back and check that out. Some things. I'm going to try and do some things in the midweek also. So come back during the week. Check and see how things are going. Really appreciate everybody's support. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet to become a member. That's always awesome. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.